Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to the Short Vort. We are reading Parshat Behar and Bechukotai this week as we close out the book of Vayikra. And in Parshat Behar is a phrase that was made famous because it appears on the Liberty Bell. And that is, Ukratem dror ba'aretz l'chol yoshveha, which translates as, and you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. Now, the context of that phrase is not included on the Liberty Bell, but I'll give it to you. And that is, it's actually talking about the Yovel year, the Jubilee year, the 50th year in the cycle of the Shemitah years. After 7 cycles of 7 years, the 50th year is a Jubilee year, and in that year it's very much similar to the Shemitah year in terms of the laws that relate to the land, in terms of what can be done working on the field. But in addition, one of the consequences, one of the results of Yovel is that all those who are servants go free. And that's you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. Which leads to an obvious question, which is, the pasuk should have said, Ukratem dror l'chol avadeha, and you shall proclaim liberty to all its servants, all the land's servants. But that's not what it says. It says to all inhabitants. And the question is, are we all servants? If a person is not a servant, they don't need to be freed from anything. And so the Pnei Yehoshua, in response to this very problem, he says something that I think we can all relate to in our time. He says that a place that doesn't experience freedom, even for some of its inhabitants, is a place where all its inhabitants are mishubadim. They're all in servitude. That we feel freedom only when all the inhabitants of that land are indeed free. And that's why it says, Ukratem dror la'aretz, l'chol yoshveha. Ukratem dror la'aretz l'chol yoshveha. All the inhabitants feel it. Because when all the servants are freed, now we can feel more at ease. And we can relate to what the Pnei Yehoshua is saying because we've experienced it in this past year and a half plus. Because those who have been held hostage, we haven't stopped thinking about them. We haven't stopped doing things to continue to remember that they are suffering. We are doing mitzvot in their zechut, in their merit. And every time a hostage has been freed, we have all felt the feeling of jubilation. Not just them and their family. We can't even imagine what that's like. But I think we all can feel it. And the same goes when we haven't heard good news in that regard, that we felt it as well. And this is exactly the idea that the Torah is trying to instill in us, that we should feel the pain and the suffering of others. It's different. We're not feeling it like they are. But they should be on our hearts. They should be on our minds. They should be in our tefillot. And the Jewish people around the world have shown that we take this idea of proclaiming liberty throughout the land very seriously for all its inhabitants, because we all feel it. May Hashem bless those who are still held captive, that they should be returned immediately to the embrace of their families. And those who are no longer with us, but their bodies are held, they should be returned to their families for a proper burial. And may we continue as we move forward in our lives, remember this principle, that we are to feel what others feel and be sensitive, and to make sure that we are taking actions that help bring about the freedom of others, because really, that gives us our full sense of freedom. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.